damaged surface. Ground forces, take up defensive positions.
Gunships have slanted their way past our defenses and are likely carrying rebel troops. Ground forces, prepare for combat. Cargo ship secure. Explosive deactivated.
Cargo ships has been compromised. Locate and disarm any explosives. to go off. Disarm them immediately. They have destroyed one of our cargo ships. I want these rebels dealt with. The rebels have to go through you to make it off the planet. Do not let that happen.
The data tape. Neutralize them.
Track her down and finish her. Incoming fire!
Data tape. Down.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
All rebel troops, activate the uplinks to call in Y-wing support. They'll soften up those walkers for you.
Over here! Come on!
We need it operational. activated. Watch for Imperial counterattack.
Engaged.
The rest are watching the enemies in the vicinity. Targeting him could deal a real blow to the Empire.
Targeted by our bomber. Where are you going?
Stay sharp. We got hostiles.
Uplink station under our control. Defend it.
Y-wings inbound.
All wings. Scarif is protected by a shield. We need to fight our way through it in order to reach the planet's surface. All right, this is it. Stay alert.
Great shooting.
Imperial fighters of Newt.
Their defenses are vulnerable. Get to the planet's surface. Heads up! Holy missile!
Okay, so fighter squadron as opposed to fighter squadron as opposed to infiltration will have tire interceptors in there as well as TIE fighters. Aaron's Gaming Channel. What's up? Glad to have you around. Stopping in on a great night. Doing a real-time review stream on this. StarWars Rogue One coming out in 8 days. The new DLC is fantastic, and I'll tell you why. I thought I spoke everything before, but I realized my microphone wasn't turned on, so I did all that talking for nothing. The DLC is fun. I haven't seen the movie yet. The movie hasn't come out yet. However, with that being said, the attention to detail in this game is unbelievable. The attention to detail in this game is amazing. And this game has come a long way from the Battlefront that was released in November of 2015, preparing for The Force Awakens, as opposed to what we got now. I can't really talk about this DLC without talking about the whole game as a whole, because the reason why this game is good now is because of the lack of what was with it prior to. I think that this being the final major DLC for the season pass is good. I think that it did a great job. Aesthetically, this is a very beautiful game already. You know, if you've been following DICE since the get-go, and you've been watching their videos on them traveling to Iceland, you know, them traveling to California redwoods to take pictures of where Return of the Jedi was filmed, they paid attention to detail. DICE has always paid attention to detail, graphics, everything when it comes to games. So it goes without being said that they would, you know, include Scarif in the mix as well. Scarif in the mix as well. The battles here are amazing. You know, I was talking about the Star Destroyers, and if you look closely, if you look at the Star Destroyer ships that are in this infiltration mode right here in Rogue One, they are identical to the ones that you're going to see in Rogue One. They're identical to the Star Destroyer that you're going to see in A New Hope.
So its cargo ships can depart.
They're very different from the ones that in the Death Star.
Down to the planet's surface.
And that is the attention to detail that I like. I'm an aesthetic person when it comes to games. I gotta be immersed in it. You know, I can't just sit up there and you know, just accept something to be for what it is. I gotta do something. I gotta be put into it. That's one aspect. I love this infiltration mode because it puts you into the movie. It puts you into what the rebels did to steal the plan. And it's always good. The main problem I have with the DLC, and you're going to see it if we get past this level, the main problem you're going to see when running into this DLC is the fact that this is a team-based game. Okay? Meaning, DICE set this up to be team-oriented. Squad-based. So you would think that if that's the case, you would have communication. Communication is key when doing team-based activities. It's not the case. You got 3 people stealing Death Star planes, okay? 3 people are stealing Death Star planes. They can't say anything on that. They disable the mic features in the game. So, you know, DICE that's on them. When they make the future games, you gotta know what you want. You can't make a multiplayer game and format it single player mode. You know what I mean? You got to communicate with people. Otherwise, you just got a team full of people who happen to be on the same team. It's just a bunch of individuals.
There's not
So
much
that's what I
time
think
left
about the
before they close the
DLC.
shield.
Honestly, I think it's up there with the Bespin and the Death Star DLC. I think it's very balanced out. It has enough game modes in it to keep you occupied. The heroes are satisfactory. That's what I get from it.
We're through. We'll land not far from the rail speeder station.
It's very visual.
Once we're ready, we'll advance
You know what I
and
mean?
create a diversion for the Imperial forces.
That's the thing I like about this. It's a very beautiful, beautiful game. It just feels smooth. It's like I'm playing this right now. It just feels smooth. You know, whatever they messed up on with the Death Star DLC, they got right this time. You gotta give DICE credit for credit's due. They listened to the fan base. They did the best they could to finagle, to listen to the fan base and get it out there what they wanted. And I think they did an okay job. They did good with what they had. And I think at the end of the day, that's all what you can ask for.
That charge must go off. Do not let the Imperials near it.
Can you hear me good now? Let's see if I can adjust the volume on this. Gameplay. This is all real time. I don't master volume. All right, is my voice good now on this? Yeah, no problem, man. It irritates me too because, like, I would probably download this video and do something with it, and I can't do anything with it because the sound of the video overshadows what I'm trying to say. So, you know, if I sound good now, that's great. Thank you. Thank you for being my ears on that. Yeah, but like I was saying before, you know, you gotta give DICE credit where credit is due. DICE has listened to the fan base in the past 2 DLCs. You know, fans wanted offline mode, they gave them offline mode, even though they need to add more modes to it. You know, I'm pretty sure the DLC has something to do with the fans' intake as to what the game is about. But, you know, the one thing that keeps going back to this game is the fact of how limited it is. It's like every time you play this game, it's like, wow, Scarif is very beautiful. If only they could have done this for this. If only they could allow this and everything else. I just feel like the next Battlefront they're going to come out with, they gotta just let loose. You know, you know, you have this whole. It's like you got this whole chest full of toys. And it's like, nah, you can play this toy only for this time. You can play, nah, man, let everybody play something. Like TIE Striker. Let people fly TIE Strikers. Let people fly the B-Wings. Let people, like, this is the Star Wars universe. You need to be immersed in this. This is what you need to do.
The Imperials have utilized their explosive device.
There's a level in here where you can see the second one, you mean? I'm just saying, you know, the Star Wars universe is a universe you can't contain. So if you make a game like that where you're trying to contain the game itself, it's not going to work. You're going to have a lot of pissed off Star Wars fans who are like, you want to fly the B-Wing, you want to get in that. They should have had levels where you could play it with Star Destroyer, Hunter. You know, stuff like that. Release those little bonus levels so that fans can play it, so that they can have free content to play with, you know, as an alternative to the season pass. Missed opportunity. You know, if I can think about it, and I'm just some guy who makes YouTube videos from time to time, I'm pretty sure they can think about it too. You know. Give people a Star Wars universe, man. You know, you play on Tatooine like there's more than Beggar's Canyon. Give them Mos Eisley. Yeah. Take all the DLC stuff, incorporate it, and make all of that. That's the only you know, like, and honestly, like I was saying earlier in this video, if the microphone caught it, I'm going to be making a Gamer's Kitchen episode for this, where it's going to be my last review, critique, whatever video I have of Battlefront. The rest of them are just going to be gameplay videos, but it's going to talk about that. It's going to talk about, you know, how some of these things that's been implemented in the past 2-3 months is going to be a hint as to where that's the direction that they're going to take this game in for where it's going to be taken for Battlefront 2. I tell you what, man, if they make Battlefront 2 the way that they made, if they make Battlefront 2 the way they made Battlefield 1, you're gonna have a lot of happy fans. You know what I mean? But the thing about the fans is, and like the fans have a little part in this too, to be blamed, is that they stood out and basically said, I hope it's a prequel trilogy. They said it's going to be the sequel trilogy. I honestly have no idea what you can do with the content that you got from the prequel trilogy, from the sequel trilogy. Because the sequel trilogy is just in its infancy. You know, we haven't seen the big picture yet as to what's going to happen in the sequel. So why are you going to make a game about it? I don't know. Prequel trilogy has more content in it. It has more storylines, more planets, more characters, endless possibilities. But it's up to DICE. It's up to DICE. You know, at the end of the day, it's up to DICE to. It's theirs to lose. It's theirs to gain. You know. I just hope they learn their lesson from this game, and I feel like they have. I feel like it's in good hands. And I feel like these last 3 DLCs that came out solidified this game. And I think the VR missions really solidified this game. and they're going to get single player mode. That VR mission told me basically the capacity of what DICE can do if they have time and they can make a single player story. I have full faith that they'll make a kick butt game that's coming out. I think the prequel era, being that I grew up during it from 1999 to 2005, has the most content out of the entire Star Wars universe. And in fact, the people crap on the prequels a lot. They really do. But to be quite honest with you, I think it's old news. I think they need to get over it. The prequels do more good than harm to the Star Wars universe now. Did it really affect the characters? Not really. You know, the Clone Wars episodes have been have fleshed out the characters. You know, the Clone Wars episodes, they fleshed out the characters and everything, so it's old news. You either like them or you don't. That's the way I feel about them. And the prequel hate to me is so old and so stupid. I don't even care to listen to it anymore. It's the same dead horse that's been beaten numerous times, and they need to just get over it. I don't even understand like what they're so bitter about. You know. But these are the same people who come out. These are the same people who come out and criticize George Lucas for the prequels, but then criticize Disney and Lucasfilm and J.J. Abrams for quote unquote making The Force Awakens be unoriginal. You know, the fans. Like, here's the thing about Star Wars fans. I know I'm getting off on a tangent here, but I gotta say this. I said this in another video. I'm gonna say it here. Some Star Wars fans, I've been alive long enough to see Star Wars fans go from they're happy that a movie came out to one person says they don't like it, then it goes to two people who say they don't like it, and then they tell their two friends, and then they tell their two friends, and so on, and so on, and so on. So, my thing is, and I've seen this happen with the prequels. When Episode 1 came out, people loved Episode 1. Okay? They loved Episode 1. As time went on, then they started hating Episode 1. You know, it was Jar Jar, it was this, it was that. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, you know, the movie wasn't that bad. Episode 2 wasn't that bad. I mean, yeah, it had some wooden dialogue and stuff in it like that, but, you know, I mean, come on, man, give me a break. Like, the prequels are almost, like, 20-some years old. Like, there's still people out here bitter about the prequels. I'm like, first of all, it's just a movie. Second of all, it's been 20-some years. Get over it. But anyway, back to what I was saying, like, these are the same people who stand up there and then say, I don't think that The Force Awakens was original enough. And it's like, well, it's kind of your fault if you think that way. That fan base that sat up there and criticized George Lucas, like, you can say whatever you want about George Lucas, but George Lucas thinks outside the box. Like, every movie he's ever made has been original. Whether you agree with it or not, whether it uses too much CGI is whatever. But the man, every time he touches the camera, he adds something new. So those fans that didn't like the prequels because it was all CGI, what was it that they sold The Force Awakens on? No CGI, very little CGI, practical effects, when in reality, okay, The Force Awakens had more visual effect shots, more CGI shots than The Phantom Menace. They don't tell you that. More visual effect shots from CGI was in The Force Awakens than The Phantom Menace. But they sold that movie on the basis of it being practical effects. You know, and the people stand up there saying, oh, well, the movie was like A New Hope, it was a rehash of this. I said, well, you guys have been standing up here for years criticizing the prequels, saying that the prequels were garbage and it wasn't Star Wars. Now that a movie that comes out actually is like Star Wars, now it's too Star Wars-like. That's the fan base that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? And I love Star Wars. You know, I love Star Wars, I like Star Trek. You know what I mean? Love Star Wars. But that, like, the some people in the fan base gotta make up their minds and just chill out. You know, I mean, it's a movie. The movie's good, the movies are bad. You know, whatever. Not everything's gonna be good. I'm really trying to win this. See, and this right here is what I'm talking about. This is the problem with a team-based mode that had zero communication. Now you're supposed to, you know, learn this through osmosis. See if I can, Well, I mean, you know, I try not to get into rants and stuff online, but you know, I mean, I got to at some point because I can't keep what I'm thinking, you know. Well, the thing about it is the fact that, like, if you're making a team-based game, where you have to communicate, you've got to use mics. It's you know, I've had this problem with Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six is the exact same way. It's the same exact problem where you get into a game mode and you have to communicate with people and people don't talk. And it's like, well, I don't have ESP. I'm not a dog. I can't just sit up there and, you know, pick you up through signs and signals and crap. You have to talk. So, like I said before, that's up to DICE the next time around. They got to know what they want out of this game. You know. And the fan base got to let them. It's about communication. You know. It's about communication. You got to communicate. But see, at the same time, it's like what I was talking about with the movies. It falls back on a fan base. You know what I mean? Like, the fan base will sit up here and say that they don't want a carbon copy of Battlefield. But yet, Battlefield is honestly what spawned Battlefront. Battlefront was nothing but a copy of Battlefield back in the day. With a minor few tweaks here or there. Now, when this Battlefront came out, what did everybody say? Oh, we don't want another copy. It's just going to be Battlefield with Star Wars skin. Okay, so DICE said, all right, we're going to release something new and original for you. We're not going to do it that way. And you know what everyone said? Oh, we need Battlefront to look like Battlefield. So, you know, it falls on the fan base too. The fan base got to know what they want. And it's like I said, I go back to Force Awakens as a prime example. They sold that movie. Now I love Force Awakens. I love all the Star Wars films. You know, I feel like we're in this mob mentality society now where if one person has an opinion about something, people have to follow the opinion because if they don't follow the opinion, they might be wrong. No, it's an opinion. Opinions are not factually based. You know, someone can stand up and say, I think chunky peanut butter is better than smooth peanut butter. It doesn't make it factual. That means that it's an opinion. It's how you feel. So that's the gaming world that we're heading into now. You know, we're heading into a gaming world now where games are released incomplete or perceived to be incomplete, and you don't get the final product until a year later or 2 years later. And you have to sit back and reassess what you got. It's a tricky game world, man. This is not the world I grew up in as a kid. You know, I spent $59 for parents spent $59 back in the day for Shadows of the Empire, and you best believe that game came out with everything that it had. No patches, no nothing. That was what it was. You know. And those games were made solid. But it's just a changing times. And this is the time. This is what you have to deal with. I just think overall, and this is just what I feel like, I just feel like overall that we live in such a good time of technology where everything is at your fingertips. You know, back in the 90s, they were just starting to release websites and stuff like that. Like, I remember all the time being online, trying to look on JediNet.com. Or, I think it was JediNet.com. Back in the day, waiting for episode 2. Not hearing anything about episode 2. Not hearing anything about episode 3. And nowadays, you got so many trailers and so much stuff. It's crazy. Like, at some point, like, people just gotta sit back, shut up, and just enjoy the ride. It's amazing what we got right now. It's amazing. Stop sweating it. You know, stop being nincompoop. And just enjoy it. Boy, in 8 days, I'm sitting up there, man, at that movie theater with my reserved seats. I'm getting me some chicken strips, bro. I'm gonna watch that.
Maintain control of that uplink station, so Rogue Squadron can help us with those portals.
A Return of the Jedi style Luke Skywalker instead. Interesting.
Uplink signal lost. Reactivated. Enemy soldier sighted.
Alright guys, that's gonna end the stream for tonight. I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover, and I said everything that I needed to say. Be sure to check out the Gaming Kitchen channel. I'm going to have more videos, more gameplay of other games coming up in the next month, next year. As the year is coming down to a line, I'd like to thank everyone for all your support this year. If you've ever watched my videos, you've ever liked my stuff, shared my videos, commented, anything, thank you very much. I tried this stuff on a whim, had an opinion, figured to say something, figured to do something, and just went with it. Rogue One comes out in theaters December 16th. Early matinees are showing December 15th. Can't wait. Hope to see you guys again. This is the Gaming Kitchen checking out, man. You guys take it easy.